Hello everybody and welcome. First episode of Rise of the Phoenix 3D printing. So this is on the Rise of the Phoenix channel. My name's Mike. This video is going to be specifically in the line of 3D printing. So what we're going to do with 3D printing is, I've been doing 3D printing as a hobby for about the last year. Really enjoy doing it. Started making my own models, stuff around the house, just all kinds of things that's useful and just to play with. So what this channel is going to be, what this type of videos are going to be on the channel are going to include maintenance, upgrades, and also time lapses of 3D prints, some cool models that I find out there and I want to share with you guys, and share my print and time with it. One of the things I enjoy doing with these 3D prints is I enjoy doing models. I like hobby painting, stuff like that. So some of that stuff will also be on the channel to see for everybody to kind of critique and work. I'm not a great model painter. Please don't be terrible to me in regard to my painting skills. They're bad, but these are for me. They're my hobby. In today's video, we're going to talk about basically overuse of the plastic extruder mount on your printer. So over time, this is off my CR-10 printer. You can see that it has moved the whole outside of what it should be doing. So this video is going to be actually replacing the extruder with a metal aluminum mount. Purchased off Amazon. If you guys are interested in finding it, I can send you a link to where I purchased it. This was about a $15 upgrade. I've done it. I have 4 3D printers, 2 Ender 3, Creality Ender 3s, a Creality CR-10 and an Ender 2 in my workshop behind, in the room behind me. So there'll be various things. One of the videos coming up is we're going to install an easy ABL on my CR-10 just to deal with bed leveling issues. We're going to change out the fan on the hot end to a Noctua fan on my CR-10 because mine's buzzing and doing really crappy things. So this channel is going to be maintenance. There's going to be time-lapse videos. Not the channel, this video set will be. So there's going to be, this is one of 3 video sets you'll see on this channel, mixed across gaming, this, and technology. So I'm going to switch back to the work, go back to the workroom and get on the CR-10. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please remember to like, subscribe at the end, and thank you.
All right, so here we are at the printer. This is the original extruder fitting that came on the printer. You can see the motor and everything mounted there. The PLA, it's done. So I've taken that off. So we're going to start with our first steps, which is turn off the printer. Always turn off your printer when you're doing anything. Since we're going to be working with the stepper motor, we're going to be messing with electronics. So just for safety, always take that out. I have an Octoprint on here, so my printer display is still on, so I need to disconnect my Octoprint as well. Pretty simple step, but something that you have to do whenever you do this. So as you can see, I'm planning on replacing this with a nice, beautiful red aluminum extruder fitting. That way, I don't have to worry about this erosion. As soon as we get this off, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about when I say erosion. So it's pretty simple once you get the right Allen wrench to get this guy off. It is on there tight. This is the original. This is one of a couple maintenance projects you're going to see in the next following episodes that I need to do for this poor little printer. I used the dickens out of it, so it's time to do some upgrading. Kind of just make things a little bit better for it and better for me because I've got Octoprint on it, which makes my life a lot easier, but it's kind of just one of those things. It can always be better. And that screw is acting like he is sheared, so we're gonna have to come back to him. That's all right. Let's get this guy torn down. So, and you will get dirty, so don't be afraid to get dirty when you're doing this. You can see some of the grease from my Z-axis rod is kind of coming off on my hand. If you can, don't touch it, but if you touch it, it's not a big deal. So will get this arm off and I will show you exactly what's been happening with the erosion that I discussed. So it's kind of one of those things, plastic part, as you keep using it, the filament going through. Now there's a way to prevent it and keep the plastic one. You can do a make a filament guide. Undo these 2 screws. There's a ton of them on Thingiverse. They work pretty well. Of course, you got plastic going on plastic, so they're going to erode as well, but nothing too terrible. So we've almost got this guy loose. But these are the factory screws that it came with. Now some people too. All right, so that's now loose. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see how that hole is lopsided. If you look at it from the middle, it should look nice, pretty, and beautiful. So we're gonna set that other arm off to the side. And now we've got this mount that's left. I really shouldn't have to mess with the bolt there, is my hope. Right Allen wrench here. One of those things, I'm hoping the gear, we don't have to move it too much. It's very easy to move. There's 2 little Allen wrench gaps on there that we just got to get a hold of and move it. It's not hard to do. That one screw is just being a bit difficult. Now when you bought your CR-10 and that, these are the actual Allen wrenches that come with it that I'm using for the most part. Obviously, as you can see right now, I'm going to a different tool because I may have overused those Allen wrenches to where they're rounded off, but we got to get this bolt out, which is not going to be a friendly task. So I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to get that bolt out and we'll go from there. Hang on, catch up with you in a second. Okay, you guys can see I removed it. I wound up having to brute force it. It wasn't what I wanted to do, but got to get that screw out of there. And that's what I did. So that's going to come out. One thing too, don't forget to unplug your motor because the motor's going to come loose, and hold on to it. You do not, especially if you got a glass table, you don't want that to fall off. So there's my motor. Everything's free finally. Woohoo! So now it's time to move to the new aluminum fitting. So making sure your motor, your power cable is out that way. Slide him back up in there. Now, one thing you can do, and I will go ahead and show this real quick. Some people do it, some people don't. Personally, to me, it doesn't buy you that much quietness, but some people for quietness will install a dampener. Basically, it just goes on your motor. If I put the right side down, it'll bolt onto your motor. Yeah, that's the right way. It'll bolt onto your motor and you can mount it. You'll have to adjust your height of your gear there, but some people do it for the stepper. I don't. My workroom, it doesn't buy me that much quietness, so I really don't worry about it. So I'm going to take our new one, I'm going to put it in place. I'm going to get my stepper back where it belongs, and I'm going to put that down in place, and I'm going to take the flat-headed screw and get this back corner. Now, why I'm getting that back corner is, one, that's going to help secure the metal plate and the dampener, if I can get them to screw together. Sometimes this is the hard part because you can't really overly see. But now, once we kind of move that to where it belongs, you can see I've got that on there. So, woohoo, awesome, happy, happy, joy, joy. So I'm going to come back with my 2 new screws, not that old torn up one that I couldn't get to go in, because we don't want that. We want these to be removable. and maintenanceable. So getting those in place. The kit that I bought, I just bought it off Amazon. It was like $9. It comes with all the screws, comes with all the parts. Pretty easy to put together, as you can see. Of course, always the hardest part is getting the screws to go. I am just struggling with this today. Sometimes you just gotta loosen it up to tighten it up. Get those holes aligned. There we go. There we go. All right. So tighten that one. That one a little bit of tightness, not a lot. We'll come back and tighten this all up here in a minute. Now it's time to put on the new arm. And the key thing to the new arm, we gotta remember, is our spring too. We want that tension on there because that presses the filament between the spinner to the gear and our spring. So we'll slip our spring on there. We'll put our screw back there and we'll get our spring there. And we may have to push back against the spring. Just like that. All right. Exactly where we want you. Got our Allen wrench. Get that hole lined up where we're gonna get dirty again. And we'll get this thing tightened down. Now don't tighten this all the way tight. You want it to have some flex to it. Get it close to being perfectly tight, but don't get it too tight. All right, there we go. And there we go. We've got the extruder sitting properly. So I will finish up here in a moment. I'll put my tube back in. We'll get this thing threaded up and we'll take a look at the finished product. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so back again. I got the old filament out, cleaned out the tubing. We're going to reconnect that up to the new fitting. And get our cabling all back to normal because we want things to be pretty and look nice. And there we go. New extruder fitting. So, my nozzle is already up to temperature. I use Inland PLA Plus in mine for most of my prints. We're gonna find the thread them through. Now, sometimes I've found I always kind of leave this finger loose enough that I can get it. Sometimes the PLA just gets stuck going through there. And I found just taking it off, get the PLA through the fitting, works great. Then we'll get her fed through. And I'm gonna raise my Z-axis up a little bit by hand. Now I'll re-grease this after the video's over. And then I'll push my PLA in, get a little bit to come out of the nozzle. Good, I got good flow. And there you go. You've got your new extruder fitting and you are ready to rock and roll. So, just kind of recap. We replaced this because of erosion on the arm here. We replaced it with a brand new aluminum fitting. The gear we didn't have to adjust here at all. It's all spring loaded, PLA's in there. Shouldn't have a problem afterward. All right, guys.
So that was the extruder upgrade. Pretty simple little task, takes about 10-15 minutes to do. I appreciate you guys' time watching the video, and again, if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel, start following. This is the first of many 3D printing topics to come. And we'll continue moving forward with other things. If there's items that you're a 3D printer person and you don't know how to do, you're interested in getting started, please leave a comment. I'll be glad to give suggestions, help out, or if you have something you're having a problem with, and maybe I have too, and it could be a video idea that you guys want to see on how I dealt with it. So I appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.